It has been close to a week now since I've been expecting price to come back into the trend line that has been identified here on the daily time frame. Last week we were around this area when I shared this pair and I was waiting for price to come into this area, after which we look for structures that will support a trend continuation to the downside. So on the daily time frame, we really don't have much information that will guide our actions going into the New York session. The only thing we can have in mind that we can take and put in mind is that we are a bearish trend line. We have a bearish trend line running since the beginning of the year, and we want to be looking forward to how we can take advantage of a sell opportunity if it finally happens. So if we scale down to a much lower time frame, let's say the 2 hours time frame, what we will notice here is that we are back in the trend line. We are back in that bullish trend line, and in the last 4 hours we saw sharp rejection of that trend line around this area. So at the same time, on the 2 hours time frame, we really don't have much to talk about. So let's scale down to a much lower time frame in the form of the 15 minutes time frame to see how price has been reacting around that trend line. So now on the 15 minutes time frame, we have observed that since price touched 1.37270, it has been finding it difficult to break above in the last let's see, in the last 6 hours thereabouts. So one thing I'm looking forward to is I want to see price. You see, we can see we had multiple rejection and we have something that looks more like a triple top structure, which is also more like a reversal pattern. So what we want to be looking out for is that if we have a triple top structure, definitely we will need a neckline that will guide our actions going forward. So if we look closely into what the structure has given us so far and bringing out our line chart, we will see that we have this area to hold on to, and that is 1.369 area to hold on to as a key level, and at the same time a neckline that will guide our actions going forward. So with the neckline sitting right at allow me to give the neckline gold color 3.69. So let's give it a label for the sake of clarity. Key level at 1.36900, I guess. So good. So we have a neckline sitting around that area, and with the neckline around that area, we want to be looking for a signal to join a downtrend continuation. If we see a breakdown of that neckline, we see a breakdown of the neckline, a retest into the neckline, or probably into that bearish trend line we identified on the daily time frame, after which we look for structures that support a trend continuation to the downside. So with this information in hand, I want to be looking forward to a bearish move if this confirmation evolves. Now, with an entry point right below that key level at 1.36878, that is, after the confirmation has been affirmed, then we want to be having our stop loss right above structure, which is around 34, 35, 36 pips thereabout, with a take profit target at 1.35500, which is around 140 pips approximately. So why is our top take profit target around this area? If we look left, we can see that we have a structure around that area that had L price supported for some time. And you can see, bringing out my tool here, you can see what I'm talking about around this area. So what we want to be using as our take profit guide is the level at 1.35500, after which whatever happens around this area will determine if we are going to continue with the bearish momentum, or probably if we are continuing to bearish momentum, that is, if we see a breakdown retest of this area, then we continue with a bearish momentum to the downside. Or if there is a reversal pattern identified around this area, then we want to look for ways to join a potential rally to the upside. So at this point, this is what I'm looking out for, and let's see how price action reacts as we anticipate the new session, the New York session. Please note, regular updates will be shared in the comment section of my TradingView account for reference purposes. Thank you and best of luck.